That's horrible.
It's bad, Sean. I'm not even on there.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Sean Hansen. You're watching Sean Hansen's Comedy Corner. Tonight is Sean Hansen's Cure Corner because I have with me a very special guest, Gina Utegg. She's been fighting cancer, beating it in the gym over the last several months. She's been beating its butt. And Gina Utegg, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for coming on. So tell me a little bit about, I interviewed you for the Tewksbury Advocate last month, but we're going to do the interview over. This time we're going to do it on TV.
Okay.
And
great.
with co-host Jerry Caruso.
Co-host Jerry Caruso. Hey, Burlington. Hey.
Now let's start back when you were 32 in 2001. You had that car accident.
Right.
Tell me.
In 2001, I was driving home from work and I was in an automobile accident. I was hit by a drunk driver and suffered some pretty substantial injuries and got tossed into a category called disabled and went through a very dark time and had to learn how to walk and talk and speak, and now I don't stop speaking, so sorry about that one, Sean.
That's a good thing, though. My parents always say that to me, you never shut up. But how was it going through that moment? Like, what did you feel when you had that unfortunate accident and going through rehabilitation and everything?
It was really hard. It was difficult because I had to relearn everything and I had to relearn myself. I used to be a senior pharmaceutical executive and that was torn from me. I'm a mom, a wife, daughter, mother, sister, etc. Basically everything that I had prior was gone and had to be rebuilt. So I had to rely a lot on my family and friends and just get to a point where I was happier.
And you've been doing a lot of fundraisers. You ride for the World Team Adventure Team. World
Team Sports.
Who writes this stuff?
That's okay. No, don't worry about
it.
World Team Sports and team stands for the Exceptional Athlete Matters. It's for disabled athletes to succeed and to be empowered. They're one of the many. There's a Challenged Athletes Foundation, and they're out of California, and I do triathlons and stuff with them. And I do a lot of endurance rides and races with World Team Sports and Altirex and a few other really nice organizations, and trying to get some more inclusive sports into Massachusetts and have more fun and get people involved. That's
good. Now tell me about your first race that you did.
The first race, well, some of them are races and some are rides, so I think the first ride would be the Face of America in 2009. It was, or in 2010, sorry. It was a 110-mile ride, and it was more to succeed and to be challenged, but it was right after I'm also a cancer survivor. I was right out of cancer treatment, and I really wanted to do this ride for a very long time, and it was one of my first and most memorable. And then as far as races, the best and most memorable was last year. I was in the Nautica Malibu Triathlon in the para-triathlon division, which is a disabled division. And I did the swim, the bike, and the jog waddle run, and I won the women's division first place, so I was very excited.
That's great.
Yeah, thank you.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
I wouldn't even last a minute in that. I did do lifeguarding for 6 years though, and I back when I was in better shape, and when we were training, we had to swim from one buoy past the first buoy down to another one, probably like I don't know how long, probably the distance of this high school. And then the two lifeguards that were training us were like, "Oh, you can hang out for the day with us." I guess I was good in swimming or good looking. I don't know which one. But
Oh, they were short-handed.
Hey, it worked. It worked for you.
They're like, we need another guy.
But you're, like you said, you're a survivor of breast cancer, and in 2009 you were diagnosed. Tell me, when you were diagnosed with that unfortunate disease, what was going through your mind, and how did you fight it, and what made you continue to live the life you have?
I think that the first thing that was going through my mind was that I had very good doctors, and they were very reassuring, and that helped. And second thing that was going through my mind was my family, again, my husband and daughter especially, and my sister and my mom and my brothers too, and really came and just rallied behind me, and we have a lot of friends too. We nailed it as a family. We had already been through one really terrible trauma, and came back to a place where we were in a comfortable spot. And though cancer is different, I really wouldn't call it the same as, you know, as the disability situation. I'd call it a little bit scarier. And there was fear, there was anger, there was all of that, but you just have to kind of come together, listen to people, and do the treatments and fight it hard as you can.
How often were you in the hospital?
I had surgery, and then after surgery you recuperate, and then I had chemotherapy, so I had 4 treatments. It was like all summer, and lost my hair. This is my new hair.
Looks very good.
Thank you. And then in the fall I had 6.5 weeks of radiation treatment, and gladly graduated on October 5th of 2009. That was a big day for me because I wanted out. I had had enough. I'd seen enough, and I wouldn't change my journey by any means. It was a learning experience, a growing experience, but it was filled with pain and love. Cancer is very, very strange, and I do a lot of these fundraising things though because I don't want to see people go through what I had to, or feel what I had to, or lose people. That's something that I feel kind of strongly about.
And for people that are fighting cancer, what words of wisdom do you have for them to keep going forward and fighting the fight?
To take every day and just enjoy every second. You know, that's probably, cancer is a lot mental, and sometimes you can't always overcome things. But what you can control and be, you know, part of your destiny, and make sure that you're okay, is to say, all right, I can have a sunset, or I can look at a picture book, you know, or I can go for a walk, or I can hang out with my, you know, if you're older, grandchild or daughter, you know, whatever makes you happy. Try to make yourself happy. And that goes for really anything, not just cancer, you know. It's kind of just kind of a way of life.
Well, that's good. Those are good words.
Thanks.
And since you graduated from cancer, you go through your daily routine. You can't work, unfortunately, at, what was it, Index Pharmaceuticals you were at?
Idenix Pharmaceuticals was the last place that I worked at, yes. Yeah.
And not being able to work anymore, how do you deal with that, and what do you do each day?
Well, that's a good one. Don't ask my husband, no. No.
We'll have him cover his ass.
No, I'm very disorganized. That's why I can't work, and a lot of the injuries that I sustain, they don't allow me to work, and especially in that function. So what I do is I try my best to be as domestic as possible, which really isn't that domestic, but I'm trying. And I also, you know, and help out around the house. And what else I do is I do a lot of training. I do weight training a few times a week, and then I ride my bike probably 6 of the 7 days of the week, and take off 1 week of training, or 1 day. Sorry, not 1 week. And I'm heavily involved with a lot of charity work because being someone who's disabled and a cancer survivor, I have a different perspective and a voice, which we are hearing. And it's nice to be able to speak on behalf of people that, you know, like soldiers and people coming back that have non-visible disabilities, traumatic brain injuries, and post-traumatic stress syndrome and stuff like that. And to actually say, you know, look, if that lady can go out and do something like ride a bike or do a paratriathlon or, you know, even do an interview like this, maybe I can, you know, and hopefully it
gives them the courage to do that and try different things.
Exactly, exactly. And that's what a lot of this is too, is that a lot of the events are also networking. You meet a lot of really great people, and you shouldn't feel sorry for people with disabilities because we don't feel sorry for ourselves. And the same with cancer. A lot of people with cancer, we actually have great attitudes. You can't. The disease is terrible. The people aren't. So it's
so true, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I met a lot of cancer survivors. I speak to them, and it's just amazing. Their outlook is so different. Their personality is so positive. I mean, not that they have to, but they want to, and it helps them as well as others, even if it's others just dealing with the beginning stages of cancer and they've gone through it. Or you know, because like I said, I deal with survivors, and it's like just amazing just to be around them and be with them and talk to them, as well as it is being with you too. Cause,
oh, absolutely.
You know, because it helps you out too. You know. It is,
and there is some kind of magic sometimes that happens when you get a bunch of survivors, and even people that are just they're new in the journey.
Yeah,
and they just
right.
need somebody to open up to, and they haven't talked about it ever. And that was maybe their first time that they ever spoke about, you know, I have cancer, and you know. It's nice to have the discussions,
and it brings bonding too, because people bond because they all have a common goal. Yes, to get better. Yes, to beat cancer, but also to be positive and to be strong and to, you know, rely on others. Don't be afraid, you know, because some people, like, remember having it in our family, you know, like I've had members say, you know, whether it be on my wife's side or our side, well, I don't want to burden you. You're not burdening me, you know, what you're going through, you know, you have to work together at it. It's like a process, and you know.
Absolutely.
But, you know, I've seen and heard what you did, and to me it's amazing. You know, I just look at it.
Well,
It's just a great thing, you know.
It's not by myself by any means. So
True, but yeah, because
you.
you have a good support system there in your family and even friends too, and that makes a difference. And even people like Sean, he's writing. Looks like he's writing, but
I'm not.
It's like a news guy thing, a news guy wannabe. They just.
I'm not doing my journalism homework.
Tomorrow's story is. Go ahead, Sean. I'm sorry.
I think I am.
You are.
You're Gina Utegg. That's what it is.
There we go. See, you got that right. Good thing you kept writing it.
Now, tell me a little bit about, you brought in all your different shirts here, and then we'll get to the bike there.
Excuse me.
Okay.
I was actually thinking of going for a ride myself.
I think you should. I think that would be great. What do you think?
I think we should let him go.
I
yes.
have the shoes back there. We can put them right on
Oh my God.
These are just different events that I've been to, and it just shows different organizations that sponsor and are very heavily involved in helping people succeed with disabilities. That was Alteryx and World Team Sports. I think this is World Team Sports as well. I don't know if you want to go through all of these, but with these, they're not just shirts. These are events that I have been in and that I've succeeded in, and And they're all charities, by the way. These are all charity events too. So this is a good chunk of charity here, and this is part of the nice part of giving back and being part. This is the Challenge Athletes Foundation. These guys do wonderful work, usually in California, more than here, and with especially young children, which is great. And then the other ones are cancer survivor shirts. I have Cyclists Combating Cancer, which this is a group I belong to.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah, and it just gives a message. And we go around to hospitals with another group called Spokes of Hope. And I'm a pink because I'm a breast cancer survivor. So the pinkies get the pinky shirt, and you get to go around and just represent hope to people, and you're hoping that somebody sees this, and so many have, and they've come up and said, "Oh, you're a breast cancer survivor."
They know right off the bat,
and they talk to you about it, and
that's
and people are really cautious about the colors and stuff too. It's kind of nice, and of course, Live Strong too. It's one of my favorite organizations.
Me too. Yeah, I think they do great. They do great things, and they inspire a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, biking and running are so alike, because I run and I do races, and they all support charities, just like the biking events do.
Exactly.
And the money you give goes directly to charity, or it helps youth organizations, or different types of organizations that help people.
Yep.
That's what it's all about when you compete in these events. It's you against yourself in those events. It's not like, okay, that person ahead of me, I got to catch up to them. But it's mostly you, because your main goal, and you can attest to this, is just finishing, and finishing strong, or and you're feeling good about what you did. And then in the end, you can celebrate, but you also know that you did a good thing. You know that just because you went out and worked out for a couple of hours, like if you did, you feel good because you help raise funds, or your money went to a great cause or a great organization. That happens with running too, because I used to direct a lot of events, and I love doing it. I haven't done it in years, but I mean, I run still, but I don't direct events, but I used to do them blindfolded.
Oh yeah, it's
love
nice.
love it with a passion, and and plus all you're doing is giving back too, for all the support that you've received, and
Exactly.
it's like everything I do, And I'm not making it about me, but every time I perform, and if it's for a good cause, then I'm giving back, because I think it's a great thing to do, and it's very important to do. Your life has a purpose.
I think that nailed it right there.
Yep.
Is that, a purpose, and you have a network and a group and a support system,
Definitely.
and you grow it.
And just because you're sharing your story, like Jerry mentioned before, and other people that have cancer are going to see it and see your story and say, oh, I can go out there too and do this and make a difference.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And she being an inspiration, for others to say, I can't do that. Well, then they change your mind and say, maybe I can. It's like people who never want to run the marathon, and they run the Boston Marathon for different organizations. I can't do it. And then somebody will be driven and do it. They may not ever do it again. I mean, they may still run and fall in love into running, but they may not do 26 miles again, because they're not idiots like me 17 times. But it's like, but at least they're driven toward a goal, and whether they raise 500, 1,000, 2,000, even if it's 250, it's money that they worked hard to do, but they get the message out there, and people support them. I mean, they may get people who may have thought a long time ago, I'm not going to support that. I support that, I got to support them all. But no, it's all for good cause.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It's good stuff.
And on that awareness and to hopefully inspire people to do things, I also have to say, from my disability to now, I'm not just trying to help and inspire people with disabilities and with cancer, but also obesity. From my motor vehicle accident, I gained a lot of weight, and it was a real problem. Some of it was brain related because of the issue that happened with the motor vehicle accident, but other had to do with my body is so damaged that it's very painful to exercise.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do a lot of things. I was told I couldn't do a lot of things. And slowly and surely, I started doing a little more. And then, after the cancer occurred, you know, something just changed as far as focus that really made me just kind of go with it. And I've lost a lot of weight, and that's something too that people. I mean, obesity is a problem too.
Oh, especially with children now too.
Yeah,
It's like an epidemic. It's awful. I mean, that's why I try to tell my grandkids, or I'll tell my son and his girlfriend, you know, get the kids out, let them do stuff. Don't let them sit at home. Don't let them glued to the TV. Don't let that happen. It's easy. It's easy to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially like last night's game. That was a great game.
Yeah, that was.
About Gina.
You said 4 points too, and wow.
Boy, I was right, huh?
Yeah.
You said 5 and I said 4.
Yep.
I just said 4. I just had this gut feeling.
Yep.
And they won by 4. Now all these people from Vegas can be calling me.
Yeah, no.
So who do you work with?
Oh, they think you know it?
Yeah, they think I know it.
He's got an in.
I got it in, yeah.
This upcoming summer, not sunner, you're going to be in the Pan Mass Challenge, 200 miles in 2 days, 100 miles a day. And that's your first Pan Mass Challenge. And you said you started in January training for this.
Right.
What's going through your mind as the time approaches to do the Pan Mass Challenge?
I'm excited. I think that well, the shirt kind of says it. This is the motto for the Pan Mass Challenge: is commit.
Yep.
It's really commit, and you can figure it out. And that's ambiguous, and they leave it that way for a reason. It means 2 things. It means, number 1, commit, and you better train and be ready, because this is a serious athletic event, endurance event. It's 200 miles, it's 100 miles a day for 2 days. And the other thing is to commit, because it's $4,300 minimum for a rider.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's all right.
Yeah.
Because all of the money, 100%, goes to cancer.
Pan Mass Challenge.
Pan Mass is
definitely
one of the best.
Absolutely.
One of the best charities to donate to, and to want to volunteer for or to ride for, because where the money goes is to the Jimmy Fund, to Dana-Farber, to partners.
Right.
You're talking all the hospitals that especially all of us and all of our families go to, and people are flown into from around the world. And we have the best doctors, the best treatments,
Definitely.
the best. They're trying so hard to get a cure. There isn't a cure for cancer. That word doesn't exist, but they're working with Harvard research labs. They're working with so many.
Oh, it's some of the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And it's also the longest running grassroots. It started with like 20 guys.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think 25 years ago or something, right? I think so.
So you have to raise all that money, and is there a certain cutoff date you have to have it in by?
The cutoff date, I think, is after it's after the event itself.
Right. That's what they always do.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard to.
Yeah. It's really.
How many months they give you after that?
I think probably about 1 or 2. I'd have to look that up exactly.
I may have another one for you. I may have another show for you.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Some grilling Tewksbury.
Good.
So.
But it's. I mean, you really have to jump right into it too.
Definitely.
And I started early with trying to raise money, talking to you guys, engaging with the community, as well as
how much you toward your goal now? I mean,
almost 2,000.
No way.
Almost.
Oh my God.
And that's been
great.
just through. I know this is funny. It's through social networking, through Facebook.
Definitely.
That's
No.
good.
I don't want to plug Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook is good. No.
That's the best way to
through
do
my
it.
friends and
Facebook is
my
excellent.
family, you know, and stuff like that.
You're talking to the prince of Facebook.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
Scoop Hansen.
Are you the prince of Facebook?
Yeah,
he
I'm
is.
Mark Zuckerberger's brother.
Are you? There you go.
That's my real last name. So if people want to donate, they can go to pmc.org/egifts/GU0004.
Yes.
0004.
Yes.
Were you writing that down, or did you know that?
How did he do that?
I knew that.
He's like magic.
You were right.
He's
like
like
the Rain Man.
No, he's like Harry Potter's
Harry
brother
Potter.
now.
You know, come to think of it, you put a pointed hat on him.
A little bit like Harry Potter.
Yeah, he does.
I'm Harry Potter's. Actually, I got a funny story. Back when Harry Potter came out, I asked my mother, I said, how in the world is a 12-year-old writing all these books?
Oh. Oh no.
I thought it was a real thing.
Oh.
She's like, that's a fictitious character. It's not real.
He asked that the other day too. That's the weird part about
I
it.
know.
Yeah, that
The
was,
other day.
I asked her yesterday.
I'm kidding.
But,
It was 2 days ago.
so when you ride from Sturbridge to Cape Cod, do you know if you're going to be riding near anyone, or how's that going to go?
Well, I've talked to a few friends, and I'm on Team DeSalle, and it's a big team. I also have a lot of friends that are on different other teams. And I just paired up, and I said, hey, who's riding the PNMS? And who wants to ride with me? You know, because yes, I will ride with some people during some parts of it, but honestly, just like a running race or any other
You don't
thing,
know, yeah.
Yeah, you have to just you have to ride your ride.
Yep.
And if somebody has to stop because they have a cramp, or if, you
You
have
gotta
to
keep
get
going,
food or
yeah.
whatever, you got to
Yep.
keep moving.
Yep.
100 miles is a long way, so you don't want to stop. You just want to keep going, and then at the end you can
Yep.
rest. And when you meet up with people, you do meet up and talk,
Which is
little
cool.
chitty chatty on the way.
Yeah,
You meet new
it's true.
people.
That's like
Oh,
in
yeah,
running
that's
too.
good.
Yeah.
Same deal. Yeah.
But it's more like meeting new friends, don't you
Yeah,
think? Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
And
Yep.
then the old ones, you try to meet the old ones,
Yeah.
but it doesn't work out.
Yeah, you never see your friends.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like,
You'll see them at the end.
call them later.
Yeah, exactly.
But now, tell me a little bit about the bike when you first rode it, and the recumbent bike. It's sort of like would you say it's like you're in a recliner somewhat or something?
Well,
that, or-
now you really have to try it out. No,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
only kidding.
I do.
We'll make them, yeah. We'll make 'em, yeah.
It is. The whole design is the feet go up there,
Yep.
and the seat is reclined back like that. And the reason why is that I have cervical, lumbar, and thoracic spine issues. So is it like a recliner? Sort of, yeah, because you're pushing back like that, and you're not sitting on a seat like normal. This is called a Bichetta Corsa SS. It's a high racer, which is a little bit different than some recumbents that people see. A lot of times people are like, oh my gosh, it's so high. And it is high because it's a racer. If I wasn't doing these events, I probably wouldn't need such a powerful bike, but I do. The design is made though also so you're more visible. And it's also made so you can hill a little better, because we're in New England, and I do a lot of rides in New England and in
hills.
Philly, and there's a lot of hills.
Yeah.
And I don't have the ability of a road bike person to stand up.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, to
and
go up
I'm
hills, yeah.
clipped in up there, so I got to push off against the seat, and
Wow.
and you're going.
People take for granted the Cape is hilly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cape
yeah.
is real
Oh,
hilly. I
yeah,
know. I've
yeah.
run down there. Everybody goes,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's flat."
No.
It isn't. It
No,
isn't. It's
it's
hillier
hilly.
than people think. I don't mean big hills, but just rolling hills, and
Rolling hills
long
get out
hills.
at you
Yep.
after a while.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
most of the roads in Massachusetts are all like bumpy and grave,
Oh yeah.
whatever I'm trying to say.
No, but you
Bumpy
actually you
and-
do a lot of training. Just I call it hilling.
Hilling, yeah.
Where
That's right.
I just go to a. All right, it's a place where people live. It's just
Yep.
their apartment complex, and they have like a 20% grade and then a 15%. So I just
No
go up
kidding.
one hill, down the other,
Good.
uphill, down the other until my
That's good for your training.
And yeah, until
Excellent
I
for your
can't do it
training,
anymore,
yeah.
and then that's like one cycle of training, and I usually wait till the end of a ride, and when I'm kind of spent anyways, because when you're going up the hill, you're like I said, you're clipped in, so if you're gonna have to stop, you're falling.
Definitely.
You're going over, and I have before, but I usually I try to keep it upright.
Now, when you say you're clipped in, you sit down. So tell me because getting on a regular bike, people just get on and sit down, and then they either wear the helmet or not. But when you get on a recumbent bike, what is the process of doing that? What's step one, step two?
Step one is to swing your leg over the seat,
Yep.
where the pan mesh shirt is, and the shoes. Then the shoes have clip-on things on them on the bottom.
Yep. Oh, because you have those special shoes.
Yep, yep. And then to sit back in the seat, and then you push off of the road or the road surface, and then clip into the front here into that, and then you just start going. So it is a little bit different in theory, but in practice it's almost like, honestly, it's similar to riding a road bike, except for the fact that gravity's going against you.
Right, right. Yeah.
But the design is nice enough that it's all right, I'll put it into perspective, is that no, a lot of people, they like to say, oh, that looks so comfortable, and yeah, it is, but it's different muscle groups, and it's comfortable if you can develop those muscle groups. But I would not, I definitely think that it's a great type of bike, and I even if my back didn't hurt, I don't know if I'd go back to an upright.
No, that makes sense.
I love it.
Oh yeah, because you're so used to riding this bike right now.
Yeah.
Now, does your weight training help to develop those muscle groups? Do you use?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I do. I'm doing that either 2 or 3 days a week. And,
good for you.
Yeah, yeah. Strength training is really important. I don't want to blow out a knee.
Yeah. No. Oh God. Especially. Oh my God.
And I've been doing a lot of squats and.
I don't do
quad work
weights.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
I never did weights. My weight training is 16 ounces. Yeah.
There you
16
go.
ounces,
There you
yeah,
go.
that's it. And repeat.
That's not bad though.
That's the Irish.
That's a good one.
That's
though.
the Irish in me.
Now, did you? Who did you learn exactly how to ride this bike from? Because I remember when we were talking, you said the same physical therapy place you went to, I went to too, in Tewksbury.
Yeah, that's right.
Really?
Yeah.
I had my foot.
Yeah.
They looked at that and helped me regain stability and everything.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And it's the same
well,
one?
that's it. I go to Tewksbury Physical Therapy, but I go to Performance Training Center, which is upstairs, because they've fixed everything that I've hurt over the years, and with all the injuries and stuff. So it's a really good mix, because then she knows to go down and ask the physical therapist, and cater my program to my body, so I don't hurt myself more, or I could strengthen up things so I'm not going to injure my back or my neck or whatever. And she knows exactly what my goals are. My first goal was
amazing.
to do 2 long rides, and then this adventure team challenge that I did in Colorado, which was cool. And then now it's focusing mainly on just endurance and doing the Pan Mass Challenge.
That's good. Well, I guess we have to wrap up. So everybody go to pmc.org/egifts/0004. This is Gina Utegg, my co-host, Jerry Caruso.
Hey.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.